Welcome to Real, where you'll find the best and most reliable movie news, reviews, and box office hits. I'm your host, Jackie Hanna. Today, we're talking 20th anniversary of Forrest Gump. Let's go to Jason and Kenny on the Hollywood Scoop.
Welcome to Hollywood Scoop. I'm Jason Zoblin.
I'm Kenny McCumber.
I'm so excited for this week in Hollywood, Kenny.
Yeah, I think it's a good week, and we definitely got some stuff lined up today that's good.
This week, Quentin Tarantino finally decided to start filming his new film, The Hateful Eight, in January. This film takes place after the American Civil War, and all revolves around 8 people stranded at a saloon during a blizzard. The film has big names, including Kurt Russell, Amber Tamlin, and Tarantino's favorites like Samuel L. Jackson and Tim Roth. The Weinstein brothers promise The Hateful Eight will be innovative, brash, and fun as Tarantino films. Kenny, are you excited for this film?
Absolutely. I think this is something that's a breath of fresh air for Hollywood when Tarantino comes out with a new film. It's something that we always look forward to because when Hollywood's all about making money, Tarantino sticks to his guns.
Exactly. I mean, Django was amazing. He did great, had a great cast, great writing. It was amazing. So it's going to be a great thing to see Hateful Eight now.
Absolutely. For the Netflix stream of the week, we have Lords of Dogtown. This newly available to Netflix movie is a solid add to your instant queue. Lords of Dogtown follows the lives of the Venice, California skateboarding pioneers of the 1970s. Lords of Dogtown takes you through the highs and lows of how a one-time sport and hobby became an industry of its own and tarnished friendships along the way.
Talk of the Town this week is the trailer for Foxcatcher, hitting theaters November 14th. This film tells the true story of Mark Schultz, an Olympic wrestler, and his relationship with his coach, John DuPont. Channing Tatum plays Schultz, and an unrecognizable Steve Carell plays DuPont. Well, Channing Tatum isn't one of my favorites, but I think he's going to do great, and Steve Carell is always great in everything he does.
Absolutely. I think the cast is interesting, and it should be a good catch. That's all we have for this week on the Hollywood Scoop. Back to you, Jackie.
Thanks, Jason and Kenny. We'll be right back with the movie review of the week.
Low on cash? Find a job on campus so you don't have to miss the events.
Welcome back to the show. Let's see what our movie experts Chris and Jared have to say about the review for Forrest Gump.
Soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad. Will you marry me?
And thanks, Jackie. We are here in the theater, and we are about to watch the 1994 classic Forrest Gump, and I'm here with my friend Jared Strand, and we can't wait to review and watch this movie with you. So
we're reviewing it for the honor of the 1994 release. It's the 20th anniversary of Forrest Gump. It's in local IMAX theaters, so check it out if you haven't seen it already, and let's enjoy it.
I don't recall what I got for my first Christmas. I don't know when I went on my first outdoor picnic, but I do remember the first time I heard the sweetest voice in the wide world.
The infamous peas and carrots scene where Forrest meets Jenny.
Yes, very infamous indeed. It's really sweet how she's like, you can sit here. And little do they know that this is the start of a beautiful friendship that goes over the course of 30, 40 years.
Has to be almost 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm nothing at all, thank you. My legs are just fine and dandy. Hey, dummy!
Oh, he must have a head of steel. Like he took a rock to the front of the head and the back of the head and the shoulder.
As stupid is, as stupid does.
Yes, just one of the many quotable lines from this movie. More to come.
classic scene. The run, Forrest, run.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do you see that in just modern pop culture? Just the run, Forrest, run. It just proves and adds on to the cult and just likability of this film. Also, it was very interesting to see that director Robert Zemeckis included Forrest breaking his leg braces so early in the movie, a moment that would become a landmark moment for the entire film and maybe even all of Forrest's life.
It's a foreshadowing because later on throughout the film, when, spoiler alert, when Jenny leaves him and walks out on him, it's kind of like a reflection of like when they first meet, and then it goes back to when she's out of his life and he does the same thing, he runs.
Okay, Forrest.
Such a sad, traumatic scene, seeing the death of a friend.
Yes, it's an absolutely brutal scene to watch. Two friends, and one has to watch the other die.
No, I'm gonna be all right.
And regardless of what everybody says, I still do believe that Bubba was Forrest's true friend. I mean, Lieutenant Dan definitely, and Jenny was his friend. But Bubba had that unique link with Forrest because they were both had disabilities, and it's just
I
really
agree.
sad to see somebody that Forrest can relate to pass off and go off like that.
And it feels like tragedy and trauma is definitely a common thread and theme in this movie. It's that Forrest loses somebody that he really cares about, and he has to look inward to find some sort of character or some sort of moral out of it.
I definitely think that he is a turning point in his life, and you can even tell at the end of the movie where he gives back to his family, even after he's dead. So,
And he experiences loss, and that's another thing that's in Forrest's journey that a lot of audience members can relate to.
and that is the end of Forrest Gump. Jared, what did you think?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I still believe that after 20 years, Forrest Gump still holds up to this day. I love Tom Hanks' performance. I love Sally Field's performance.
Fantastic.
Memorable characters like Jenny, Lieutenant Dan,
Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba. Call out to Bubba, but not Bubblegum Shrimp. Even with that, this still is the definitive film. With that, I'm going to give Forrest Gump 4 out of 4 stars.
What? 4 to 4? Flawless?
It's flawless. I love it.
Okay, okay.
He's the man. All right, what do you have to say, Chris?
I definitely agree. I don't know. I just can't give it a 4 out of 4. I can't give it flawless. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 4.
3.5.
Pretty close. Pretty close to perfect, but I think it's starting to fade just a little bit in my brain. That has been all for Movie Review. I am Chris Horton.
I'm Jared Strand.
And back to you, Jackie.
This week, we sat down with film professor and acting coach Miriam Mills to talk about her opinion on Forrest Gump.
And we're here live with Miriam Mills of Rider University. Thank you, Miriam, for being able to join us today. And we're going to be talking about Forrest Gump. Now tell me your opinions on the film.
It's not my favorite film.
Really?
It is not even close to my favorite film. I don't even like the film. I know that that's almost heretical. It is sacrilegious to say that you're not a fan of Forrest Gump, but I'm not. I didn't like the politics of Forrest Gump, and I'm not a huge fan of his acting, period, of Tom Hanks' acting. The reason is because I always see the work. And there's another thing. Actors need to be likable. Even a John Wayne, even a Clint Eastwood. They all have this quality that makes them very likable. There's something about Tom Hanks that is, for me, off-putting.
Wow. And the surprising thing is that I actually gave it a perfect score. I gave it a 4 out of 4, so hearing this is kind of devastating.
I know. And but I think that if you talk to a number of experts, they would have a similar response to it. I know that he's loved by Hollywood, and he is very famous, and people adore him. I'm just not one of those.
So
There's
or
just
right before it.
something arrogant about the man.
Wow.
There's something so fundamentally arrogant that when I watch him, and I've watched many of his films, I'm turned off, and I don't know why. I do know why.
To
That's
each
just
his
because
own.
I told you.
It's fair.
Yes. So I do not consider Forrest Gump a perfect film, not by a long shot. The Waterfront is a perfect film. The Godfather is a perfect film.
Agreed there.
There are many perfect films. But to me, Forrest Gump it appeals to a part of me that I choose not to.
But again, thank you again for
You're
joining me
welcome.
on this interview. All right.
Good luck.
Looking for all the news and events that are on campus? Check out the Rider News, now at your local store.
Welcome to our segment Behind the Curtain, where we talk to actors and actresses that are lighting up the stage and everything else, all on our Rider campus. Here with me today is Mark De La Rosa. So tell me, Mark, how long have you been acting?
I've been acting since sophomore year of high school, so 5 years, yeah.
So not very long for studying. What's your major?
I'm theater performance with a minor in film.
So how do you like it so far here at Rider?
I love it here. I really do. I find a great sense of community, and I don't know. I love the staff too. I love just being able to do what I do, and getting to concentrate on that. You know, it's nice.
So when you are given a role, how do you prepare for a specific role?
Usually I take what I learned in my classes, like movement, such as like finding the body of the character and going into text and reading into that character, and possibly if there's things we have to learn about its history. There's multiple things you can do. I like to just dig right into certain techniques, try to figure stuff out, and hopefully finding the body and then finding the mind, combining them together, and working with several actors to possibly create the story.
You ever have any struggles while you're doing this?
I have had some struggles. Yeah, it can be very frustrating when you have something that you can't really find at first, and you have to just evaluate it and keep going at it until you search all possible examples or anything. It's just it's a matter of exploration, really. It's about how you look at the character and look at the story and look at what the author or the playwright might have wanted to portray, and possibly what your director wants. You know, the director is also there to help you, and your fellow actors and actresses. You know, they're there to help.
So, are you going to be anything soon here on our campus at Rider?
Yes, I just got casted in A Doctor in Spite of Himself by Moliere, and adaptation by Stephen Breck. I forget the guy's name. I should probably know. But yeah, it's at the end of October, early November. So everyone should come by, see it.
And that's the lead.
No, I mean it's a leadish character. I play two characters. I play Lucas and Thibaut, and they're pretty big characters in it. The main lead is Scannerell, but I didn't get that part. I got Lucas, and hopefully it's big enough part to show what I can do.
All right. Well, thank you, Mark.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching our segment of Behind the Curtain, and back to you, Jackie.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week for more movie reviews, movie news, and more. I'm Jackie Hanna, and this is Reel to Reel.